Hi,
I love the wave.
everybody. Welcome to Sunday Funday with Paul and Judy.
Yes.
We hope you're having a great weekend so far, and we're glad that you're joining us today.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Live from Belize.
Live from
Maya Beach.
Placencia, Belize. Yes. And so we still are enjoying that beautiful view that we showed you last weekend. And there's some other things that we can show you about Belize today, too.
Now we're going to do our normal routine, which is, of course, signs of all kinds and some sponsors to talk about.
Yep.
But also, we've had a lot of questions about Belize. So we're going to get to that later on in the show as well.
We have all kinds of things to show you. Show and tell. Big show and tell day. But we always like to start with our signs of all kinds. Hi, Karen.
And first,
nice
can
to
you
see
see us? Can you hear us?
I think that Karen is letting us know we can. Yes. And Teresa's here from Ship Shape Styles. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining us this morning or this afternoon, depending on where you're watching. Let us know where you're watching.
Yeah, exactly. And the weather here has been spectacular.
Yeah, it really has.
We usually get a little rain at night,
which is very soothing, and it cools things down a little bit. And every once in a while, the thunderstorms at night are fantastic.
The body of water you're looking over there is actually the Caribbean Sea, which then merges into the Atlantic. And we're probably about 30 yards from the water.
It was so calm this morning. We talk about it being like glass when it's really that calm. And there are no waves this morning to speak of, just kind of rolling into the beach. Yeah, lapping. That's a good word. Good to see all your names come through. Are you ready for signs of all kinds? We had a lot of contributions this week.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm all ears.
You're all ears. Okay. So this first one is actually a contribution from Judy and Paul. I love this one.
Stop trying to make everyone happy. You're not beer.
We saw that at one of the favorite restaurants that we go to here. And it was just, I said, oh my gosh, we're actually going to be able to contribute to signs of all kinds this weekend. So
we haven't even really gone to the Tipsy Tuna, which has most of the signs.
Yes. And in fact, we're going to have to see if they've changed them up since the last time we took pictures. Hi, Joan. Thanks for being here today. So our next one, in keeping with drinks, is a good one. No Nonsense Coffee Guide. Black coffee, white coffee, cappuccino, frothy coffee, latte, milky coffee, espresso, miniature coffee, macchiato, milk-toned coffee, milk-topped coffee, mocha, chalky coffee, tea, not coffee, and hot chocolate, still not coffee. Thanks, Christine. That's fun. And there's another one that has to do with drinks and coffee. Today, drink your coffee. Stay focused and positive. Don't freak out. Remember, stabbing people is wrong. Are you wearing pants?
Hey, those are good rules to live by anywhere.
That's right. That's right. No matter where in the world you are, or in what country you reside.
I will say, no matter how many of those signs you show, I still would not know how to order anything at Starbucks.
Yeah, I'll have to make take a screenshot of that on my phone.
If you're doing more,
show you.
If you're saying more than like 7 to 10 words when you're ordering your coffee, that's too much.
That's right.
Just say, give me a coffee.
Well, vente. That's just one word. Did you experience emotional stress caused by the great Facebook outage of 2021? If so, you may be eligible for compensation. Connie sent this one in just a couple days ago, and I thought, oh, isn't that so funny?
Yeah.
Like, you sneeze, oh, you may be eligible for compensation.
The funny thing is that happened when we were here.
Yeah.
Somebody was
just last week.
Yeah, and somebody was telling us that it was, and we didn't notice, and we still got to do our show. So I don't know what this great.
I think it was a different day.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a different day because we did this Sunday, and it happened either Monday or Tuesday. Remember? Yeah. So yeah, we got lucky. It didn't happen on a weekend. Let's keep going. Janice gave us a good one.
My mom always said, "Work until your bank account looks like a phone number." Well, I did it. Available balance 9.11. 911. And I said, you could have said 0.
That's right. That still would have been a phone number.
Operator.
At least it used to be. Thanks, Janice. And then we get into kind of the start of some good Halloween contributions.
That's fantastic.
We're going to sit here and drink beer until we understand when looks like that's never going to happen. Until they turn into skeletons.
And then they found them.
Yes.
But they didn't even finish their beer. Of course, how could they hold it?
They're waiting. They're waiting and waiting and waiting. And then here's another booze one. Thank you, Jane.
Oh, I love booze.
Booze. I love it. We had some really good, I have a whole lot more, so I'm going to spread them out throughout the whole month of October. Oh, this is great. Also from Connie. I just fired myself from cleaning my house. I don't like my attitude, and I got caught drinking on the job.
Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Love that.
I like that excuse for firing myself from cleaning. That's going to be the next one I use.
I fired Judy from cleaning wine glasses.
Yes, actually, almost all dishes.
Almost all.
There's something left. I say to him, but I use soap.
Not effectively.
Obviously not effectively. Oh, this is from Judy and Paul.
Oh, I love that. That's actually a new place called the Placencia Swim Club.
Beach Club. Beach Club, yeah.
Swim at your own risk. Lifeguard on beer break.
Yes. And then finally, do we even need Halloween anymore? I've been wearing a mask and eating candy for 14 months already.
Perfect.
Yes, and so true. I know. They're great. Keep them coming. As you know, you can send them to me on Messenger, or you can send them to me on Facebook, or you can send them to me even via Instagram.
Maybe even telepathically.
There's a way to message people that way. No, I need to put them up on the screen. So you can be thinking something, but that's not going to work. So those are our signs of all kinds.
Yay.
Yeah, we thought they were really good. As I said, I'm keeping little files on those of you who send in some fun ones. So keep the Halloween ones coming, and especially the alcohol ones. We all love the alcohol. Yes, we do. So we thought it would be fun to show you a little bit more about Belize, since we are here, and many people who are watching have never been here, although some of you have heard of it and some of you haven't heard of it.
And some have questions, some have misconceptions.
Yeah. So we wanted to show you some of the places that we've been that are really fun. And you'll remember that last weekend we showed you one of our favorite coffee shops to go to, which is the Brewed Awakenings.
Yes.
And I think that they're still on hiatus. They had a sign just kind of tacked up against one of the posts that said,
temporarily closed.
Yeah, temporarily closed. So I'm sure they'll open back up because they do make great shakes. But we thought it would be fun to show you some other places. We went to a dinner restaurant that friends of ours introduced us to, and that's the sign for it. But I wanted you to see even what the outside looks like from the road. And when you go inside, you'll notice even more that the whole Rick's Cafe theme, does it remind you of a movie at all? Maybe. Casablanca, possibly. So even the inside, it has a beautiful, it's not a tray ceiling, is it? It's just a peak roof, but that's all hand assembled with wood, and then they painted it. It's got just a beautiful atmosphere. So if you ever come here, but even the rustic side, I loved with the pineapple.
And so, I know you have more to show, but when we were there with some friends that we met here.
Oh, Cher's going to be in Belize in 11 days.
Oh, how about that?
Good for you. I'm curious as to what part of the country, Cheryl, you're going to be going to. Because there are many places to visit.
So as we were leaving, our friends that invited us there.
I'll give you a little laugh. That's a real bottle of booze, guys.
Yes, and it's 44 Double D.
Double D. Or if you wanted the big titty rum in Gold Rush, look at all the gold chains around the neck. That's a different version. But that's in all of the grocery stores here. Yes. It's in all of the bars here.
It's a local rum.
It's a local rum. And we just thought that was so funny. I had to take pictures and show you. Oh, and in Belize, the fire trucks are known as hose wagons.
Why wouldn't they be?
Right. That's accurate back home too. We just don't happen to call them that. But yeah, on the side. And then they don't really have a fire station to speak of, at least not what we saw.
It would take like a couple of hours to get a hose pumping from the sea or the lagoon.
Right.
So you better have a house that doesn't burn in an hour and a half.
Because it's got to go places. For those who are asking about COVID testing and mask wearing, that's the airport on the far right-hand side. And then the Caring Health Center or Caring Hands Center is where the antigen tests are done. So even at a local airport, a little municipal airport like this, where maybe 3 or 4 planes might be sitting waiting to take off or having just come in, there is the requirement for the COVID test before you leave. So you can either go, and I think it's still 48 hours from here, isn't it? Where you can get tested 2 days in advance and then fly. Or if you have the rapid test, you could fly that same day.
When you're flying to here from the United States, you have 96 hours that you have to have a negative COVID test.
Right.
Some of the places are requiring vaccinated cards to go to. Others are not.
Others are not.
We were able to present our negative test that we had coming in. So whether you're vaccinated
ironically
or not,
at this place right here,
yes,
at the Hobbs Brew Barge, and that is a real barge.
This was our first time going to this one, and it was spectacular.
It was really great. Welcome aboard Hobbs Brew Barge, Belize, Central America. And then once you got up there onto the deck, this was a view from one side, and then this was the view from the other side. And then after that, I thought it would be really fun to show you this, because later on, this is what we saw from that same perspective. We were sitting right there at the table.
Yeah.
Isn't that spectacular sunset? So that's, as Paul said, on the lagoon side.
Yes. And I will tell you, as good of fish and chips as I've ever had.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot, because I'm kind of a stickler for my...
He's a fish and chips snob.
As long as it's got to be beer battered. It's got to be flaky on the inside.
And then that was sort of our final view just before our meal came. And then we put our phones down. But isn't that spectacular? So there are places like that all over that you can find that are really fun little treasures.
And speaking of that, another one of our sponsors is Saba Beach Resort, which is a new resort. In fact, it's not even fully open yet.
Right.
So we're kind of the guinea pigs.
And we showed you this last weekend too, but that's how you pronounce it. And I'm going to put the link for you if you wanted to learn a little bit more about it in the comments section. And it's sababeachresort.com.
Now the reason we're telling you about this is that they're going to have a restaurant, they're going to have a pool. None of that is happening yet. This is the view exactly from our little front. Well, actually, you can see there's a little porch out front that's covered. There's Judy working out.
Yeah, I took advantage of it the other morning. You could see the sun coming up. It was about 5:45 in the morning. And I decided, there's my bar, a little tree out there.
There will eventually be 10 of these cabanas.
Yep.
They're finishing basically 3 and 4. They're 5. So there will be all done on one side, then they have them on the other side. So people can actually purchase them if they wish.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you can just come and rent them as you would if you went anywhere for a vacation and you just either did a condo rental or you did a VRBO, for instance, or a home away.
Right.
It will be like that kind of system when they're all set up.
And if you wanted to buy one, you could just tell Tom that Paul and Judy sent you. He'll do right by you.
There you go.
And honestly,
it's good to be connected,
because then you could just put it in the rental pool and have extra income or a place to visit.
Sure.
Which is kind of nice.
So ours is the first one done. So we thought, good timing. Let's break it in.
Anyway, and it's wonderful because even though they're building a pool and a restaurant here, you can walk either direction on the beach and find a bunch of different restaurants. But let's talk a little bit also, because we had a lot of questions.
Okay.
Unless you had more stuff to show.
I have all kinds of stuff to show, but I think now's a great time to talk about to address some of the questions.
Because a lot of people say, well, I don't know much about Belize. What's it about? Is it safe?
So
cool. There's a lot of different questions.
In a week and a half.
Right. This is a little map. I got it from the rental car place. Incidentally, so this is a country. This is the whole country of Belize. And if you take a look up here, on the northern border is basically Mexico. And actually the northwestern border is also Mexico. When you get down to here, you have Guatemala. So what does that mean? Well, the part of Mexico that most of you are familiar with, which is Quintana Roo. This is where you have Cancun, which is where most people fly in, a lot of the resorts down there. So it borders there. Now, What language do they speak here, Judy, in Belize?
Easy to get around, I'll tell you that. That's your hint. You can ask directions, you can ask how much something costs, and you can read the menu.
Right. It is English. That's the official language. In fact, basically, where are we? We're down.
Yeah, we're in the southernmost part of
So there's 6 districts.
Belize.
You have Corozal, which borders Mexico. You have Orange Walk District. You have the Belize District. You have Stand Creek, which is where we are. You have Toledo.
Spelled like Ohio,
yeah.
right?
What's the lower one called? I can't see that.
Oh, Punta Gorda.
Punta Gorda. Yeah, that's the furthest
like in
south.
Florida.
And then a little over this way would be Honduras.
Yep.
What this country used to be called British Honduras. In 1981, they got their independence.
Which is why they speak English. So
There are a lot of expats who retire here from both the United States and Canada, other places as well, but probably 90% of the expats here are from the United States or Canada. One of the reasons...
And we've met a lot of them, and they are loaded with information and very helpful, which is why we wanted to pass on some of the information we have to you guys.
Their currency is called the Belizean dollar.
Do you have one?
I
We
don't.
can show it.
You want me to go get one?
Sure.
Okay. You want the dollar or you want the $2?
There
I'll give it the $2 bill.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the coins are actually very similar. The pennies, although a lot of them are the same color, but they even have a dollar bill in a coin.
Yes.
I shouldn't say a bill, but a dollar in a coin.
Here's the...
Are you throwing money around?
Did some of the money fall?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I'll get it.
That's how affordable it is here. You just throw your money away. Honestly, this is a $2 bill.
And this is a $1 coin. So it's angled and it's a little bit heavier and larger, but about the size of a 50-cent piece at home, if you can still find it.
We'll make it simple for you. So $1 US is worth 2 of the Belizean dollars.
And you know where you were talking about the British Honduras. There's the Queen, and she's actually on all of the bills.
The currency
1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50.
So last night, for example, when I had what I would say arguably as good of fish and chips as I've ever had, the price for it was $24. But that's Belizean. So it's actually $12.
So the exchange rate's really, really easy because $1 in American is equal to $2 in Belize. So this right there, as you said, was $1. Now let's get
get real crazy, and it's really easy to figure out. Also, the people are incredible. We have been here now 4 times. Is this our 4th?
Yeah, this is our 4th visit. Yeah.
And because of COVID, we had actually longer than a year between visits, but virtually everywhere that we went.
I'll talk about that in a minute, Marianne. Go ahead.
Virtually everywhere that we went, we ran into a waitress, owner of a restaurant. They all remember you. They recognize you. They're glad that you're there.
In fact, tell them what happened yesterday when you went next door to the Green Parrot by yourself, because I was getting ready for a Zoom call. So I was staying back here using the Wi-Fi system because it was a business call. And so what happened?
Everybody said, "Where's Miss Judy?" I'm Mr. Paul. She's Miss Judy. And every single person separately. Yeah. The manager, her name is Alicia, and at the Green Parrot. Great place, by the way. And then Aaron, who's the bartender out on the Palapa.
Yeah, out on the dock.
Pier bar,
a really nice pier bar.
Matthew, one of their newest employees.
Who's doing a great job, by the way.
Becky.
He made a mean margarita.
Right. They're all, where's Miss Judy? So I came back to give Judy, because she was doing some work on a Zoom call.
Yeah.
And so I brought her. This is the thing. As affordable as the meals are, like I said, $12 last night. American for my meal. But I have half of it left over. So I'm basically spending $6 for dinner. Speaking of that, let me continue along that vein.
Oh.
So she talked about Rick's Cafe. And our friend Chad and Beth, who are expats from the United States living here. And they said, "Oh, by the way, that guy up there owns the vegetable stand across the street."
Yeah.
So they introduced
And Rick's Cafe had gotten and gets all their fruits and vegetables.
So the salad Judy had,
vegetable
that's where you get the lettuce.
Yeah.
So I went down there and we said, let's get 4
We got limes, tomatoes, lettuce, bananas.
Let's get 4 bananas of this size. Okay. My bill was 50 cents.
Belizean. So do the
25
math.
cents for 4 bananas.
And they are delicious. They're so sweet, so tasty.
Just perfectly.
Yeah,
perfectly.
It's really, so it's been a very, very nice experience, and it's going to continue for a little while for us, because we're going to be here another, I guess, 3 or 4 weeks or so. As we said, we're definitely breaking in this cabana.
Now, do people always have concerns? They say,
yes,
okay, so
exactly. That's very true.
Is it safe? I've heard there's crime. There's this, is that, the other things. Okay, so I'm going to tell you this. Every country has crime.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone. And just like I always say, use common sense. And another thing, I know I'm getting off topic, but not really. Somebody said, oh, but you guys have escorts everywhere you go.
Yeah. Like a car service.
No, we don't.
Somebody to take care of you, a guide.
Yes, when we were
protection.
working for QVC, and Judy went to Bolivia to film, and I went to Tanzania to film.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be organized, and somebody's going to take us around, and my Swahili is not that good.
Right, right.
However, every travel we've ever done as a couple together, we don't have escorts.
No.
We rent cars or not.
We get maps so we can figure out where we're going.
We talk to locals.
We ask questions.
And we also use common sense.
Sure.
So if somebody said to me, oh, I heard there's a lot of crime in Belize. The truth is, like anywhere else, if somebody's going to downtown Chicago, there's certain places you don't want to be at night. Same thing with New York City. Same thing with Seattle. Same thing with Portland. Same thing all over the place. The bulk of crime would be in Belize City, which very few tourists go to. That's
where the international airport is. So if you came to Belize, you'd fly into Belize City, and then you'd either rent a car or you'd jump on a smaller, probably 20 or so seater plane. And there are basically 2 of those airlines. One is Maya Air and the other is Tropic Air.
And we've used them, both.
Yeah, and they're great.
And it's literally so when you land in Belize City Airport, it's Philip Goldson International Airport. You can drive, you can rent a car. Now, renting cars are expensive here.
Yes.
I will tell you that.
And gas is more expensive than in the States right now, too.
Anyway, if you're going to drive, it's 3.5 hours, and it's really not that far. That's just the road structure right now. It's improving every single year. But if you take the little puddle jumper, which we've done, it's like a 15-minute flight. So, yep, you're down. I wanted to show you one other thing. Again, if we look at the map, okay, that is basically, Belize is basically the size of New Jersey, the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, that gives you perspective, sure.
Now, let me give you more perspective. The population, total population of Belize is about 407,000 people.
Yeah.
What's the population of New Jersey?
I don't know.
9.4 million.
Wow.
So a lot more crowded there. And that's why you have a lot of open space here. And again, the people are really wonderful, and we love supporting them in any way we can. A lot of other things to see. It is one of the biggest barrier reefs in the world.
Oh, yeah. If you're a diver or love to snorkel,
right,
you have some amazing opportunities in Belize. And actually, there are some other really nice places to go. I don't know where Cheryl's going, who said she was coming to Belize in 11 days.
Yeah, let us know.
There's Ambergris Key, and that's on the northern side, still on the Caribbean side of Belize. And then there's also Key Cocker, which is another place that a lot of tourists like to go, and where everything is just on the water. They've taken advantage so much of great water views and wonderful, just easy walk on the sand in your bare feet, and just really kind of
and
soak
really
up the sun and the sand.
Protected by that reef.
Yeah.
So weather's really not much of an issue here.
And that's another thing that people do ask about is the weather, and if you're susceptible more so perhaps on the east coast of the United States to hurricanes. And they do get them here, but when you think of from where they come on the very far side of the United States and in the Atlantic, and then they turn so frequently either to go up the East Coast or around Florida and then towards Louisiana, you think about how much further west it would have to go, and so much of it breaks up before it gets to Belize or Mexico. So they don't experience as many.
Not as many,
yeah,
no.
as we do back home.
The longitude, I know I'm really getting nerdy, aren't I? Longitude is like 16 degrees,
That's okay.
16
It's
degrees
interesting.
north. Now, why is that? Why is that interesting? Well, Judy grew up on Cape Cod, really,
Yeah,
in the summers.
Massachusetts.
And those of you in the northern part of the United States, especially the further north you go,
Sure.
the bigger the tides.
Yes.
You might have a tide in Cape Cod that could be 13 feet
or
from
20.
low to high, or 20.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Where we were
docks.
in St. Pete Beach area, maybe 2 to 3 foot tide. Here, like a couple 2-inch tide, because you're closer to the equator.
Yeah.
And that's what that longitude tells you.
So there's very little erosion, but also that's why they try and leave so much of the foliage and the trees near the water, because that helps to keep erosion from happening.
Big tree trunk that you may or may not see, the root structure keeps the erosion from happening.
Right.
It's just a wonderful place.
Yeah, it is. So that's a little bit, well, a lot of that.
Yes, I get verbose when I do the nerdy stuff.
A little bit, but that's okay. It's fun. I wanted to tell you, because so many of you have asked about my ring, and thank you for that. So I'm going to use that as a segue into the start of a great sale.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
Love
so we have a sale going on the Judy Kroll Style page, and I'm going to put the website up for that for you, because all of the Kingman turquoise pieces, there are 5 of them, for 20% off. So whether it's the earrings that you see me, and I have those on today, or the big, large north-south ring, or the one with the beautiful moonstones on the side. I know Glenna bought that one because she sent me a picture of herself wearing it.
Listen, I love both of those rings. My advice is to get both, because they have 2 completely different personalities.
I can give you a little bit more information on that in a moment, but let me first show you the stone location, where this gem comes from, because I think sometimes we were talking about the education of Belize and understanding a little bit more about the country, but this is what's going on in Kingman, Arizona.
And that shows you require a lot of fuel to move the mountain.
Oh yeah.
And also you require water. Exactly. Which is very difficult to get in some of those places.
And then, well, you see how chalky it is when it comes right out of the ground, and we're just holding it. But then you also appreciate there it is in the side of the mountain, and what they have to go through, whether it's by hand with a pickaxe, as you see Steve doing here, or here's Paul just finding some pieces right on the ground. But after the bulldozers have really moved the earth and revealed where that turquoise is, then you can see, and they do it in a very crude way, where they just collect it right in the bucket.
They say take anything about the size of your fist and put it in the bucket. Everything else they'll reclaim later.
Exactly. And that's what they also call when they go into the tailings. But again, that's the material that's gone into all the pieces in my collection and in so much of your collection.
Kolba, the 3rd generation miner. His son Josh is the 4th generation miner.
And I wanted to show you the pickaxe in his left hand, because that's when we talk about the detail and the crude way that people are mining this material. Yeah, we were having some fun. And then of course we go to the Tucson show every year. And if you go to that particular tent, you'll see the Kingman turquoise set up. And then you'll also be able to see those beautiful hanks of turquoise, all the different colors, all the different shapes they cut, and everything that goes into it so that it's all matched up for you. People have a ball sorting through it. They're doing different kind of sorting.
I maintain, I've been saying this for probably 10 years, that the Kingman mine is the most significant and most important turquoise mine in the world today.
Yes.
No question about
Everybody thinks about Sleeping Beauty, that mine that closed.
It closed in 2012.
Yeah, was that 6 years ago?
9 years
9 years ago now. Wow.
June 30th, 2012.
I think we filmed there like 2 months before it closed.
People to film.
Yeah.
It'll never reopen, by the way.
But the Kingman, there's a lot of material that comes out of the Kingman mine that does look a lot like Sleeping Beauty. So sometimes people will say, oh, that's where you got that. But to me, the Kingman jewelry that I'm wearing, the 2 rings and the earrings, I kind of loaded up with everything, all 5 except the necklace, just to show you again proportion of what these things look like, because otherwise you don't have that.
Show me the big one a little closer.
Oh,
I want to point something out, because
I don't know if the light is.
Those of you that have watched me talk about turquoise, almost, I'd say 99% of the turquoise in the world is stabilized in one way, shape, or form.
Well, and you could see by the chalky material,
because you could literally crack it in half.
Yeah.
But more importantly, can I get one more shot of that big?
Yes. In fact, I'm going to give you an even better shot because I took a couple of these for you to see. Yes. That's the close-up. And you can see also, that's the website, but it's not going to be $169 if you get it with the Judy 20, which is your code. But that gives you beautiful perspective of
that's
size.
Amazing. And I want you to understand something. Just because turquoise is stabilized, that's not a bad word, it's a good word. But more importantly, that came from a single piece of rough that we pulled out of the mountain.
Right.
It's not something, a lot of times you'll see Chinese turquoise they call it compressed stabilized turquoise, because they're taking little bits and squeezing them together. That doesn't happen with the Kingman. It came from a huge piece of turquoise, much larger than that then becomes that ring on your finger. It's a steal at that price.
So actually the size 7 is already sold out. We have that. I think my friend Dawn got the last of the size 7s. Okay. Yeah. But it is in 6 and 8. And then here's that other ring. This is the one I was talking about that one of our followers got, Glenna. She ordered this one. And because of the Judy 20 code, if you put it right in the area, it's $63. And that has the moonstone in it as well, the rainbow moonstone on the side.
Crazy.
Yeah. So all of these things, even last weekend I wore these earrings and a lot of people said, oh, I love your earrings. I said, I completely forgot to talk about the fact that they were going to go on sale this weekend and that you could get them not for $125, but instead $100. And I'm wearing them today, but this beautiful model also is showing kind of the dangle look, and they have that lever back style to them. So that's another piece. And then I was wearing them when we were on the porch the other day, but with a turquoise top. Yeah. And they're two-tone because they have the peridot surrounded by the gold bezel.
That's amazing.
Right. And then I've worn this necklace a lot. So and that adjusts from 16 to 19, but look at how dramatic, even with a really dressy black strapless dress, $271. And there are 6 graduated turquoise stones. And that's when I was wearing, you saw me wear that all the time when we were sitting on that deck. But that's the jewelry collection. And
how long does the sale last?
I think it's going to go for 7 days.
Wow.
Yeah. Or until obviously sizes sell out. That's always the problem.
Can I say this? Because sizes are, if you're in between, get the larger one.
Yeah.
Also ask, they might have a way for a small fee for you to size it.
Oh,
so ask about that.
Well, because we know the people who are making it, and we know that it's Kingman, and we know how they do it. H.I. Gilmore, I just put that link in the comments, so you can go to the comments after the show, and you'll find it, and then you can click directly on it. So I thought it would be very helpful. And she's the one I told you who also bought that ring. So real quickly, to walk you through the order process, once you go to that website, again, it's shopgemistry.com/brand/Judy-Kroll, but it's in the comments. So that's going to be the easiest way for you to find it. But choose your size. I think in this case, the 8 is the most limited in that one, just so everybody knows. So you'll order your size, you proceed to your checkout cart. And if you're wondering, okay, but where do I put in the coupon code? It's right underneath the description. So don't forget to hit apply. And then when you do, Judy 20, it'll come right off and you'll see the end result. So that's really the key. to shopping and ordering it
Love
properly.
Love the 20% discount. That's crazy.
I know, LaDon, I hope you're not mad at me. She didn't get it for 20% off. But every once in a while, a good sale will come along, so you got to take advantage of it when you can.
Speaking of sponsors, this is, I know we're running a little over time.
Is that a bad thing?
No, we have. What else are you doing today?
What else are we doing today?
Yeah.
I
think that lunch on the veranda of the Green Parrot is in our future. You had a very exciting Zoom call with a sponsor.
I did.
With something near and dear to your heart, because this is something you used to struggle with before, which is finding deodorant that is natural.
Well, I know it sounds sort of strange. I realized that was one of the things that fell, because I got 3 of these. So it wasn't money that you were throwing. It was my deodorant. But I've shown you this before. This is one of my sponsors, and it's called Freedom Deodorant. And the woman that I was speaking with in a Zoom call yesterday has been labeled by Good Housekeeping as the best overall natural deodorant. But she's got such a great story. And her name, and I mispronounced it. I said to her yesterday, she's the CEO and she started the company. Her name is Ira, not pronounced Ira, even though it looks like it's spelled that way. So anyway, she had 3 friends, and she reiterated it yesterday that she had 3 girlfriends all get breast cancer in the same year. And she said, this is nuts. And they were all told, in addition to men, to wear non-aluminum, non-sulfite, non-antiperspirant, natural deodorant. So this is what she created. And she said to me, look at this, aluminum-free, cruelty-free, it's not tested on animals. EWG stands for Environmental Workers Group. And what it means is they will kind of honor and sponsor safe consumer products. So this is why she has that label on hers. And of course, she also gives back to breast cancer funds. And she's just really, and so in my call yesterday to her, it was great because we had to do our time change thing, which, by the way, that's another thing about Belize. They don't do the daylight savings time. So when everybody in the United States falls back, except what's the state that doesn't? Arizona?
Arizona doesn't.
I think
I'm not sure if Hawaii does either. I forget.
Oh, that's right. So then we'll be an hour different instead of 2 hours different from your time where you are. But anyway, I said to her, I'm so excited that you reached out to me, and I would love to work with you closely because I believe in what you're doing so much. And I personally had breast cancer. She said, you did? I said, yeah, it's been 12 years now?
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And I never told anybody. I think it's probably common if something happens to you like that to feel like you did something wrong. What did I do? And also, there are people who just don't want the pity. So I thought, nope, I can handle it. I'm going to keep it to myself. But it's so nice to be able to have the support, and now being comfortable talking about it and relating to so many people who've gone through the same thing, or friends have, or family members, mothers, aunts, sisters, daughters, to be able to say, hey, there's something out there that really works. And they come in travel sizes, but they also come in whole sizes. Yeah, I mean, here I am traveling. So it's a great, and they have 6 different scents. And then the other thing that's nice is she said, Judy, you have to try our new Eco line. I haven't even seen it. I haven't even been on the website to look it up, but I'm really anxious to take a look at it. And you're going to meet her next weekend.
Yep.
I asked her if she would be a guest on our show. I have chills. Yeah. Isn't that a great story? So yes, you're very sweet to bring that up, but I was really honored that the CEO of the company called.
And when we find products we believe in, we don't just take any sponsor.
No.
And so and we love that you support them. I mean, it helps us out because we like this to be free for everybody just to watch.
And I forgot to tell you that when you go to their website, if you decide to try it, and I know Debbie is one of the followers who did let me know that she had bought it. And if you go to that site, Ira has given all of my followers a discount. I guess Judy 15, Judy 20 is an easy thing to remember.
Yeah.
So later on today, if you decide you want to try something, put in Judy 15 in the checkout area and you'll get 15% off of anything that you buy.
It's not what you know. Who you know.
Great connections, great deals. We love them all. Speaking of good connections, I have another little something to share with everybody.
What?
Well, it's a new show with a friend of mine that I used to work with on QVC. And she was a fitness guest. Her name is Tanya Stroh. And if you live in the Philadelphia market, maybe you've seen her show. Or you can also go to myrxfitness.com to watch it. But this is what the show looks like. It's called My Fitness RX. And it's available in and around the Philadelphia market on Comcast and Affinity TV, Dish Network, Direct TV, 25 in that market. But you can also go to her website, and every week she features a different kind of fitness program. She also features a medical segment, and we were watching her show because I'll show you where you can find it. So they do the latest advances in medicine where they'll show you what's going on. And then she also does cooking segments and food segments with local restaurants, famous local chefs in the area, and you always learn something. And the latest contributor
is Judy.
Is yours truly. So she's doing Get Fit with Judy segments that are little 2-minute fitness videos in the My Fitness RX format. So
that's a collector's edition.
What?
It's our old house.
I know, our old master bedroom. I call it my master class. And I said, not because of the difficulty level, but because I'm coming to you from my master bedroom. So that's Tanya. And I put the link for the My Fitness RX show if you wanted to watch it. I put it in the comments. Be sure you go back through the comments after our shows because there's so much great information in there. That when you're saying, where do I find this? Or where can I buy that? Or what's the website that I go to?
Well,
they're all in the comments.
And we read all those. So that's why there are so many questions about, well, is Belize safe?
And we want to address it for you.
So we can actually answer your questions.
Yes. That's another thing we don't have somebody else doing is going through and answering all of the comments that you make. We do that personally. In fact, we enjoy it. So when you make those comments, you're not anonymous to us.
No.
We take them all very seriously. Which is a good thing.
And share this with your friends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
like
for
when
sure.
You do that too.
For sure. So, thank you, Jane. Well, I did have time to put together my little wise words show close. So, unless there's anything else to add that we might have missed, I went through my whole waiting area, my green room.
I know. Somebody said something about hats. I'll talk about that next week.
Oh, okay.
We're already over time.
And we didn't wear one today, so it really doesn't pertain to today's show. We do love our hats. We each brought 3. So we practically had to have a hat bag.
We just moved. We probably have 100 hats.
But you should have seen him on the plane. He had 2 or 3 hats piled on his head because we really didn't have a hat box. So it was tough to travel with hats and not crush them.
Plus we
remember the guy who stopped you?
Yeah.
And said,
is that one hat or is it?
Is that a new creation?
I said, I'm starting a new thing.
It was very funny. A Panama hat and a cowboy hat that looked fused. Yeah. Too fun. But we're planning to do this next weekend.
Yes, we are. With a guest.
Yes, with a guest. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hope
Cheers
you have a great rest of your day.
We hope to see you. Whoever's coming down in 10 days, maybe we'll see you. Maybe we won't.
Yeah, we don't know what city she's coming to.
Yeah.
But have a wonderful, wonderful time.
And if you have any questions, ask us.
Absolutely. We'll go through. We always look for them. And we have a good time.
Whether you ask it or not, I'm going to answer it.
All right. Well, I'll let you see. And this is sort of you can tell where my mind was when I put this one together.
Okay.
It's sort of a self-biographical wise words show close.
Autobiographical?
Autobiographical. Right. I think you'll see what I mean. Even the very last comment, I think, is one that pertains and very appropriate. So anyway, on that note,